See you. How are things?
It's been pretty busy. So I understand you got the call about 3 hours.
And you two, with the still damp sneakers, got on top of him and held him down and voluntarily throws away perfectly good vodka. Can we go now? I've stuffed it.
I guess so.
The other man said that he'd get me a root beer, but he never did.
Revenge is a hard road, isn't it? I know English literature professors that haven't read Moby Dick.
I like whales. They eat squids. That root beer coming?
Why don't you just talk to me, Thomas? There's no point in hiding anymore.
What happened to the Mentalist cast? 17 tragic deaths and secrets fans never knew. Greetings, friends. Do you still recall that man who saw through everyone but failed to save those he loved most? Years back, The Mentalist totally gripped millions with its dark, agonizing quest to finally track down the man called the elusive Red John. But once the bright cameras stopped rolling, where did every cast member go? Which stars kept their fire burning? Left us quietly during heartbreaks that truly broke the hearts of many loyal fans. At 60 years old, Gregory Itzin stepped into Virgil Minnelli's shoes, playing a powerful chief within the halls of justice, a figure whose very hidden choices behind closed doors steered the direction of inquiries. Minnelli radiated a quiet power, ensuring every single order held serious weight. He shared a messy bond with Jane and Lisbon, acting as their shield while watching them from a very far distance, constantly weighing faith against doubt through his steady poise and his carefully chosen words. And that sharp look, he added a quiet friction to the plot, making us wonder if he truly fought for the right side or just the system. Sadly, Itzin died at 74 following some unexpected surgery complications. He was a truly great man, a true veteran of the craft with a legacy, long decades. He kept gracing our screens and theater stages long after his time on this hit series. Even though he never chased fame, his acting stayed consistent and highly honored, marked by his very polished, subtle range and that unique, powerful, commanding presence. At 36, Robin Tunney became Teresa Lisbon, giving us a portrait of a very tireless and brave squad leader driven by strict rules, strong values, and an immense, heavy burden of her daily duty, raised with a sense order. Lisbon turned into the rock that held her unit together, keeping her cool during wild cases and heavy stress. She never used mental tricks like Patrick Jane often did. Still, she read his mind better than anyone, acting as his anchor while silently keeping him, building a bond that mixed work with profound feelings. She was the face of real, honest justice in its form, never flashy or wild, but always determined and careful, and truly unwavering. Her peaceful aura, tough yet filled with secret kindness, served as the vital heartbeat for the whole crew during their darkest times. Now, Robin Tunney. Tunney is 54, still enjoying a solid career with many different parts, both before and after her big break on the show. After playing Lisbon, she stayed busy working on various television series and big movie sets. Though not every project became hits, she has kept a very firm footing in acting. People still love her for her organic style and depth. Tim Kang was 35 when he played Kimball Cho, showing us a very stoic and incredibly focused, quiet detective with incredible grit, acting like a solid rock during the never-ending and very wild chaos that often swallowed the squad. Because of his tough history and his old ties to the rough streets, Cho knows exactly where the line is drawn, serving as the team's true ethical guide in every single crisis. He doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve or play those mind games. Rather, he watches everything with intense focus and strikes with total, absolute precision and great skill. While Patrick Jane frequently blurred legal lines, Teresa Lisbon acted as the group's steady anchor. Cho ensured that no situation ever escalated too far. His deadpan wit and short, Punchy remarks often created truly unforgettable television moments. These instances ease the heavy tension while revealing his depth. Today, Tim Kang is 53 and continues building a very solid career in television. Since finishing that role, he appeared in many different cinematic and television productions. He earned praise for playing complex characters with his trademark sense of calm. Although he never chased a flashy star image, he remained relevant. He has successfully maintained a very consistent presence within the acting world. Tim built a solid reputation that is grounded in talent and authenticity. Owain Yeoman was exactly 30 when he took on the iconic role of Wayne Rigsby. He played an investigator who had a rugged and sometimes quite rough exterior. That tough shell hid a very sincere nature and a vulnerable heart. Coming from a family with a dark history, Rigsby faced struggles. Rigsby joined the police force to escape his past and prove his own value. He wasn't the sharpest mastermind on the squad, despite his many other strengths. He lacked Patrick's refined tactics, but was always the very first person to take action. He was frequently seen charging into dangerous situations without any hesitation. His bond with Grace Van Pelt added a very warm human dimension. Their connection was awkward yet genuine, providing comfort during those intense and dark investigations. Constantly caught between his professional duties and personal feelings, Rigsby felt real. Rigsby eventually became one of the most relatable people in the whole story. Today, Owain Yeoman is 48 and works steadily as a talented Welsh actor. Since that iconic role, he has appeared in several various movies and series. He maintains a strong reputation for giving very natural and dependable performances. While not every project became a hit, his work remains legendary. His portrayal of Wayne Rigsby still stands as the definitive highlight of his career. He certainly left a very deep and lasting impression on fans. Simon Baker was 39 years old when he played the legendary Patrick Jane. He portrayed a former media psychic who once earned a living by reading people. He suffered a horrific loss when Red John murdered his beloved wife and daughter. Changing from a flashy, arrogant man, Jane began a relentless quest. Jane embarked on a cold, relentless pursuit of the man responsible. Driven by heavy grief and guilt, he joined the California Bureau of Investigation. He didn't join for duty, but with a singular goal to kill Red John. Using sharp intellect and psychological tricks, Jane frequently ignored the standard police rules. Patrick Jane often broke rules, earning both the trust and the suspicion of colleagues, far more than just a detective. Jane was the beating heart of the show. Today, Simon Baker is 57 and remains a very famous face in television. He moved into directing and producing while still acting in many new projects. Even if newer shows lack that same magic, his legacy remains respected. His career in the entertainment world has remained both very steady and respected. Amanda Righetti was only 25 when she landed the role of Grace Van Pelt. She played a young agent who brought a pure, moral perspective to the entire team. Entering that high-pressure world, she stayed focused on the true pursuit of justice. When Grace first arrived, she carried a certain pure-hearted nature and a belief in the good, relying heavily on her gut feelings, her spiritual side, and the unexplainable, which often created quite a bit of friction with Patrick Jane's strictly logical mindset. As the years passed and the cases piled up, she really grew up, finding the strength to stare down the darkest human shadows. She eventually embraced the cold, hard facts of life, while her romance with Wayne Rigsby brought a whole new level of heart. There were times she felt completely torn between following her own heart and standing by her professional oath as an officer. Watching her transform from a wide-eyed rookie into a battle-hardened agent who could handle any blow was truly something to behold. Fast forward to today. And at 43 years old, Amanda Righetti is still a very well-respected figure in the American acting world. She has built a solid name for herself in television dramas and cult horror hits since moving on from that iconic role. Her path led her through many different film and television sets. And even if they weren't all huge blockbusters, she kept moving. She has managed to keep a very consistent presence in Hollywood, crafting a professional journey that is defined by her steady work, She has proven time and again that she possesses the range to step into almost any type of character with total ease. Rockmond Dunbar was exactly 40 years old when he first stepped into the shoes of the formidable and stern Dennis Abbott. He played that high-ranking leader with such a rigid, principled backbone that you knew he wasn't a man who was easily swayed. That was crystal clear when he first ran into Patrick Jane, standing in sharp contrast to the bosses who had come before. Abbott didn't put a single ounce of trust in psychic tricks, leaning instead on strict protocol, hard evidence, and military-like discipline. This naturally sparked some serious heat between him and Jane, as they were basically the faces of two completely different worlds. They represented the clash between unyielding rules and creative shortcuts. But eventually, even Abbott started to see the light in Jane. He began to grasp the true genius behind those unorthodox tactics. And his early doubts slowly shifted into a deep-seated respect, more than just a supervisor. He was the anchor who made sure the whole squad stayed on the right side of the law. He ensured every single move they made stayed well within the legal lines. And today, Rockmond Dunbar is 53 years old. He is still going strong, building an impressive resume as an American actor in both the movie industry and on television. Since his time on the show, he has landed roles in several big-name series, only further cementing his status as a powerhouse. He has that natural gravity that makes him the perfect fit for playing commanders, lawmen, or characters with a lot of soul. Even when he isn't the center of attention, people still look up to him for his incredibly steady and commanding way of acting. He just has that magnetic quality on camera, much like Joe Adler did when he joined the cast at only 20, stepping in as Jason Wylie. He played a brilliant young tech whiz who brought a really fresh and energetic vibe to the team. He became a key part of the investigation unit, known for his sharp mind, quick thinking, and his very genuine personality. Unlike the older agents who did things the old-school way, Wylie saw the entire world through the lens of a computer screen. He used his digital wizardry to break codes and track down data trails that were far beyond what traditional detective work could reach. He was a bit shy at the start, often feeling a little lost next to big personalities like Patrick Jane and Kimball Cho, but little by little, he showed everyone his worth by never giving up and always being the first person ready to learn. The bond he built with the rest of the crew was quiet but very deep. As he became a vital link for them, he was the one who stood right in the middle, bridging the gap between modern technology and classic, old-fashioned police work. Nowadays, Joe Adler is 33 years old and is still busy making a real name for himself in the American acting scene. Most of his work is on the small screen, where he has been involved in a wide variety of different creative projects. He is really pushing himself these days, trying out new types of roles and exploring characters that are more complex and diverse. While that one massive breakout hit is still waiting for him, his devotion to his craft in this industry is totally undeniable. It has been a real joy for fans to watch his growth from a green young specialist into a seasoned professional performer. Each one of these talented actors has successfully moved on from those legendary characters and into exciting new chapters of their lives. They take all the lessons and wisdom they earned on that set and pour them into every single new project they start. Seeing how much they have grown as artists really seems to mirror the way the characters we loved grew over the years, whether they are the lead star or the supporting player. They are still making a huge impact on the world of entertainment. To this day, the fans still cheer for their personal wins and remember the incredible mark they left on the show. Looking back at where they were then versus now really highlights how much of a lasting force they are in Hollywood. As they step into new adventures, we are all looking forward to seeing their future wins and all the great things they achieve. Stepping into Jason Wylie's shoes served as a career-defining moment that truly made him a household name for the show's loyal fans. Michael Gaston was 48 years old when he became Gale Bertram, playing a leader whose polite facade hid a deep well of secrets and a very mysterious and unpredictable nature. Ruling from the executive suites, Bertram stayed out of field work, preferring to pull strings and guide cases from behind his desk. His talks with Patrick Jane and Teresa Lisbon were always civil but tense, carrying a heavy weight of things left unsaid. The man was a central mystery in the team's long journey, often blurring the line between a friend and a dangerous foe. Nowadays, Michael Gaston is 64 and is still a respected veteran with a huge resume across television and the stage. Since that role, he has been constantly busy with all sorts of high-profile and independent acting projects. While he keeps a low profile, the industry knows him for his dependability and his talent for playing complex men. Aunjanue Ellis Taylor was 41 when she stepped in as Madeleine Hightower, a fearless leader who brought total composure and strength to every single crisis the team faced, taking charge during a very messy time for the department. She navigated political minefields and threats from within the very agency she was trying to lead and protect. She initially watched Patrick Jane with a very critical eye, though she eventually saw exactly how much they needed him. When she got caught in those dangerous conspiracies and had to leave, it felt like the heart of the agency had been ripped out. Today, Aunjanue Ellis Taylor is 57 and is celebrated as a top-tier American actress whose star is still rising following her time at the Bureau. She has starred in many award-winning films and critically acclaimed television series. Her path has been incredible, moving from strong supporting characters into some of the most powerful leading roles today. Emily Swallow was 34 when she joined as Kim Fischer, bringing a fresh, logical, and very disciplined perspective that changed how the whole unit approached their investigations. Unlike others, Fischer was all about the facts and logic, which initially put her at odds with Patrick Jane and his habit of playing fast and loose with the rules. But that friction made for great drama, forcing them both to grow and adapt. Behind her stoic mask, Fischer had a massive heart and always put the mission before herself. Today, Emily Swallow is 47 and is still building a brilliant career across the big screen and Broadway. Ever since that stint, she featured in a variety of noteworthy films, including acting turns that have really boosted her global fame among viewers everywhere, mostly in smash hit shows. Her trajectory displays a steady rise, moving from minor parts to much more complex, deep personas, defined by soul and a unique spirit. Pruitt Taylor Vince was 50 when he first stepped into the big shoes of J.J. LaRoche, playing an IA sleuth who possessed a very quirky and quiet facade that masked a brilliant mind and his truly uncanny perceptive powers. Standing apart from the rest, LaRoche was the perpetual lone wolf, keeping his guard up while dissecting every tiny clue with near-surgical precision. He never trusted looks or guesses, always digging way beneath the obvious in ways that even left Patrick Jane feeling a bit rattled. His presence brought a heavy vibe, acting as a very chilling warning that nobody stays safe from investigation, given those strange and odd habits, that heavy, measured speech, and a totally impenetrable cold stare. LaRoche felt both shady and reliable, weaving fresh mystery into the whole story. Presently, Pruitt Taylor Vince is 66, still working as a very highly seasoned veteran performer, famed for his knack for playing such intricate and also occasionally quite volatile personalities. After his time there, he kept busy with many movie and TV roles, though he never chased the blockbuster spotlight. He earns truly massive respect among his peers for that unique and very rawly honest approach to his craft. Josie Loren was just 27 when she first took up the mantle of Michelle Vega, playing a fiery young recruit hungry to show her own worth to the entire veteran police squad, and deeply committed to true justice. Arriving late in the show's long final run, Vega soon stood out thanks to her keen gut instincts, a bold streak for taking chances, and a grit to tackle obstacles directly. She looked at Patrick Jane with both wonder and also genuine admiration, soaking up wisdom from those around her to master her own professional path fully. Yet, being green often meant she jumped the gun or acted quickly without thinking, landing herself in hot water. Though her time on screen was short, her arc stayed with us, turning her into a real icon of pure silent heroism. Nowadays, Josie Loren is 39 and has pivoted to a totally brand new life path. Once that chapter closed, she slowly retreated from the world of acting to focus on her studies and build a successful life in the law, showing a brave shift in direction, even though she's left the stage behind. Her performance as Michelle Vega sticks in the mind as a total standout, the moment that fans still fondly look back on. Michael Rady was 30 years old when he became the new face of Luther Wainwright, acting as a fresh-faced Fed who got shoved into a high-ranking boss role. In that chaotic, high-stakes world of crime fighting, Wainwright really tackled his duties with pure grit and a heavy sense of duty, though he often wrestled with doubt when the big calls had to be made. He showed Patrick Jane respect while keeping a very clear professional distance, trying hard to keep order while still letting Jane work his mentalist magic. He and Teresa Lisbon shared a deep bond built on trust and synergy. They both fought hard to keep the squad grounded through those truly turbulent times. Fast forward to today. Michael Rady is 45, still carving out a very solid path, a constant star within the American television landscape. Since then, he has graced many beloved shows and several nostalgic television movies. He became a comforting face for fans, tackling a vast array of characters, bridging heavy drama and romance. While massive trophies and global stardom may have stayed just out of reach for him, he has built a remarkably stable and respected legacy within the Hollywood industry. We truly appreciate you sticking around, not simply to finish watching one more video clip, but to walk down memory lane together, feeling the raw emotions of these lingering, unfinished stories from behind the screen. If these old echoes moved you, please stay close, because there are still many more unforgettable moments waiting for us just ahead.